Hey there everybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIII. In the last episode, Hope finally confronted Snow about his mother Nora. Shortly afterwards, we had to fight a boss. And then after the boss, the control switched over to Lightning and Fang. So we're still in Palampolum, and we're right in front of a very great weapon for Lightning. So I'll show you guys where to get it. Just proceed along the path. By the way, if you want to know the exact spot, we're right after the Lodestar Behemoth fight, or the Lodestar Behemoth fight. So after that, go ahead and continue up the stairs and cross a small bridge.
Okay, let's get Snow on the line. Damn thing's still jammed. He can take care of himself.
We'll just have to believe that. Hey, Fang.
Hmm?
The others are safe, right? If any of us got caught, they'd make an announcement.
Yeah, they would. They'd have to let everyone know that the big bad Lassie can't hurt him no more. These Cocoon people, bunch of cowards and blowhards.
These Cocoon people have spent centuries under Fal'Cie law, in constant fear of a Pulse invasion. If it weren't for Sarah, I'd have been out there too, hunting Lassie. Would have been nothing but targets to me.
Well, Grand Pulse is just as twisted. Cocoon's a floating nest of vipers, ready to strike. Or so I thought.
So, you became a Lassie to fight the Vipers. And destroying the nest is your... Huh. I mean, our focus now.
Until we woke up here, we'd been in crystal stasis. Which means we must have completed our first focus. Why can't I remember that part? My childhood's clear as day. But the one thing I need, it's just gone. Blank. Like an empty page. I reach for the memory, and nothing's there. Then there's my brand. It's all messed up. Vanille and me, we lost our past and our focus.
And now, you want to find them? Be a Pulse Lassie? An enemy of Cocoon?
Pulse and Cocoon can rot for all I care. If I don't figure out our focus soon, Vanille's gonna be a Sith. I'll tear down the sky if it'll save her.
Alright, so after the short scene, you'll see some soldiers advancing on your location. Go ahead and take care of them. After taking care of them, you'll see 2 Orin robots. You're gonna have to take these guys out in order to get the treasure ball they're guarding.
Finally,
make sure you take them out.
Looking at me? Come on then! Time for a change.
Alright, so after you take out the 2 robots, look in the northeast corner over on the right hand side, and you'll find a treasure ball that contains an Axis blade. Now this is one of the best weapons the game has for lightning whenever it comes down to synthesize abilities. Why, you may ask, whenever the stats are negative over the Gladius? Well, it's because of the passive ability ATB charge. Now what this means is that every time lightning strikes an enemy, her ATB gauge will charge up slightly. So when you level it up to its maximum, each time you attack an enemy, her ATB gauge is charged. So that means you can continuously attack without having to wait for it to charge up. And that is very, very useful later on in the game. So it may not look like much now, but later on you'll see what I mean when I start to upgrade it. For now, if you want, you can start upgrading it, but I would wait a little bit later in the game, and I'll tell you guys when you should start upgrading it and how to upgrade it to its maximum with very little effort. Well, it's gonna be, you're gonna have to do a lot of stuff, but the most efficient way to upgrade it at least. Also, make sure that you get this, because once you head over to the next area, you won't be able to backtrack here and get it. So this is your one and only chance to get it. So if you accidentally went through the doorway, the only thing that I can say is to make sure that you reload the game before you save again in order to get it, because it's very, very important and it's extremely useful whenever it's upgraded. Again, that's the Axis blade for lightning. So once you've got that weapon for lightning out of the treasure ball, go ahead and advance to the destination marker.
Call me Light.
Did you see Vanille's brand?
No.
No, huh? Want to know how long until it's Seath City? Just look at your brand. You start getting more arrows, and then finally an eye. Once it opens all the way, you're done. Let's have a look. Don't be shy.
Okay.
Nowhere near. You got time. Still, you never know. Some people, doesn't take so long. You get a nasty shock, it can speed up the process. Vanille's brand must be pretty far along by now. I gotta save her and get her home.
To Pulse, you mean?
To Gran Pulse. I hear that the Sanctum prevents people from leaving Cocoon. I'd like to see him try and stop me.
So, that's your plan? Wish I had one. Without Sarah, without a future, there's nothing to plan for. There's no way out of this mess, and no way to fight it. I'm stuck trading blows with the Sanctum, but that's no plan. Even if we topple the government, where's that leave us? With nothing to fight for, I might as well be dead.
Your sister. You've got plenty to fight for. Think about it. Don't you want to see Sarah after she wakes up? That's your future right there. All you gotta do is survive. It's simple.
Right. Snow.
They found him.
Hope. Hey, Hope!
Alright, so after the scene, you'll be back in control of Fang and Lightning at the Felix Heights area. To the right, you'll find a save point. You can save if you want. Then turn left and ascend the stairs. Now you're going to want to head to the left of the area and hug the wall. Here you'll find a group of enemies you can take out. After you take out the enemies, in the far corner of the plaza you'll find a treasure ball that contains a tungsten bangle. So let's go ahead and put that onto Fang to increase her HP. And then you're going to want to head to the left. Here you'll find a couple more enemies you can fight. Alright, so after the battle, by the way, this battle that we just fought, there's a high chance that the robot enemy Orion that we just took care of will drop a superconductor, which is a very, very, very important synthesis component for upgrading your weapons. So they're really rare to find, and mostly people just buy them from the shops, but they're really expensive. So if you're trying to go ahead and farm components for upgrading your weapons in the future, this is a very good battle to refight. And it just so happens that shortly up the road we're going to find a save point. And this is the save point that I like to stop and gather a little bit of CP from. And just go back and fight all the enemies in the area in order to stack up CP so I can max out the remaining Crystarium for anyone that hasn't maxed it out already. So while you're fighting all the enemies in this area, you can keep fighting this battle that we just fought, and it's got a very high chances of dropping a superconductor, which is an excellent component for upgrading your weapons later on in the game. So pretty much you're killing two birds with one stone. You're gathering CP and you're getting really good, useful synthesis components for upgrading your weapons. So keep that in mind when backtracking this area to get some CP. Then go ahead and descend the stairs and you'll see a treasure ball, but you won't be able to open it until you take care of the nearby enemies. Alright, so after taking care of the enemies, go ahead and backtrack and open up that treasure ball for a black belt, which is resist physical by 10%, a pretty good accessory. And then turn the corner to the left and descend the stairs, and here you'll find the save point, so you can go ahead and save your game. By the way, if you look
Let's get
ahead,
moving.
the path ahead has a behemoth and a XIII bombarder. So if you want to go down there and fight them and get some CP, and then come back to the save point and save your game, and then after you fight that battle down there, all the enemies back up top these stairs will have respawned, meaning that you can fight them again. So what I generally do is, first let's take a look at our Crystarium. Let's go ahead and spend our Crystarium points to see how close we are to maxing out our Crystarium. So Fang's commando roll is taken care of. And now let's work on her Saboteur roll. Shortly up her Saboteur roll path, you can learn the accessory, which is really useful. So in a few more battles, we'll be able to learn that, and then you can equip 2 accessories onto Fang. So once you learn that, I would highly suggest to equip a tungsten bangle, which we already have on her, and a power wrist, so that her physical attack and strength will do more damage as a commando. And then after you max out her Saboteur roll, I would max out her Sentinel roll, which we still got a long ways to go. But as long as we sit here for about 30-45 minutes and train, you should have plenty of CP to buy everything. Now let's focus on Lightning. Her commando roll is already maxed, and her Ravager roll is maxed out as well. So all that's left for her is her medic roll. And that's all we can do, so we're really close to completing Lightning's Crystarium. Alright. Yeah, so you're probably going to need a couple thousand CP points. I would suggest getting about 3,000. That way, whenever your Crystarium does expand again, you'll have some extra CP in order to get a couple of abilities for it. Because if you don't take the time to grind for CP here, you're going to be behind again on CP. So as long as you've been fighting every battle that you've come against up till now, besides skipping a few here and there, you should be able to max out everyone's Crystarium here in a very short time of CP grinding. So again, if you're wondering what I'm going to do after this, I'm going to go down there and I'm going to fight that group of enemies, the Behemoth and the XIII Bombarder. After I take them out, I'm going to backtrack up these stairs and I'm going to fight everything that there is to fight up at the top of these stairs. And then I'm going to come back down here, save my game, go fight the Behemoth down there again, and then go back upstairs, fight everything there is to do. And I'm just going to keep fighting all the enemies in this area. Note that once you go past that battle down there between the Behemoth and the XIII Bombarder, once you go past that, it's going to trigger a cutscene and you're not going to be able to come back here. So if you are planning to CP grind, don't go past that battle. You can fight that battle, but don't go anywhere past that. And then just go back up these stairs and fight. And again, I would recommend about 3,000 CP. If you're close to where I am on the Crystarium board, I would recommend about 2,000 to 3,000 CP. And that should take about 30 to 45 minutes tops. And by doing that, you'll be able to max out everyone's Crystarium. And then when the control switches to the other characters, you'll have CP stacked up. So you'll be able to max out their Crystarium as well. And that way you stay ahead of the game as far as the Crystarium board goes. And also, like I had stated earlier, that one fight back up top the stairs has a high percentage of dropping a superconductor. So you should be able to farm at least 5 or 10 superconductors, depending on how many times you fight that battle. And yeah, so you're pretty much getting a lot of good stuff by staying in this area for about a half hour and fighting all the enemies. Alright, so that takes care of this episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIII. I'll see you guys next time after I've got enough CP grinded, and I'll max out my Crystarium for you guys so that you can see how I develop and how mine is maxed out, and also how much CP I've gathered afterwards. so it'll kind of give you an idea of how much you should get to. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope this video was useful. I'll see you guys next time on the next episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIII.